Yakuboyev. We are in Tashkent, Uzbekistan for the Uz Cup chess. This is the second edition in 2025. The last one was in 2024. And Arjun is the top seed of this tournament. It's going to be an exciting clash. We have some players, amazing players playing here. Nodirbek, Pragnananda, and we have a handshake here. Arvind Chidambaram is also here. So some great encounters. We have a cameraman blocking our view, but that will soon go away. D4 by Nodirbek Yakuboyev. A little bit about Nodirbek. D6, by the way, by Arjun. He played this opening against Gukesh, if you remember, to E4, D6, the Perk defense. And he's actually made Nodirbek go E4. And Arjun is risking this opening and he's like, I'm ready to take you on, Nodirbek. Knight comes out to F6. So Yakuboyev is perhaps slightly less stronger of the two Nodirbeks. The stronger one is Abdusattorov. Oh my god. The cameraman has blocked this totally. Bishop D3 played here by Nodirbek Yakuboyev. But, you know, on a given day, Yakuboyev can play at a very high level. E5 by Arjun. And he has proven that by beating Abdusattorov in the tie-breaks of the Qatar Open in 2023. Now pawn comes up to C3, defending the central pawn. And Arjun, let's see what he does now. One of the main moves is this very aggressive move D5 here. Just putting all pawns in the center. But Arjun first brings his knight out to D7. You can look at the times on the clock. Arjun has 1 hour 31 minutes, while Yakuboyev is down to 1 hour 23 minutes. Knight comes out to F3. And what white wants to do is castle, keep this strong center. But Arjun is like, nothing doing like that, bro. I'm just striking in the center. And the point, of course, is if you take here, you lose a piece. So you can't take on D5. Maybe you can take on E5. That is what Yakuboyev does. But now there is D takes E4. And this is the danger when facing Arjun. He makes his move so quickly. He's in his prep. He knows his stuff. And Yakuboyev is like, oh my god, did I just enter Arjun's prep? Am I just going into this rabbit hole where he knows everything and I don't? We'll see. First, E takes F6, taken here. Now you can take both pieces. You can take on D3, you can take on F3. Both seem like a good move. Arjun takes on F3. He picks up the knight. And black now can take back here with his knight. So white has to be careful. If you take like Queen F3, then maybe Knight E5 is already a dangerous move. So first Yakuboyev takes on G7. Okay, interesting. Could you take here? Not really, because then I just take here with a check and that is not good. So you must take it back. Arjun takes back. And white can now take back on F3 when you will be a pawn up here as white. So Yakuboyev is thinking now. It's very important. Yakuboyev takes on F3. Arjun still has 1 hour 29 minutes. Why is he a pawn down? Because white's structure is better. Pieces are out. What does Arjun have on his mind? With 1 hour 28 minutes on the clock, Arjun just remembers his prep, goes Knight E5, attacks this and this. And Yakuboyev has to be very careful. His bishop is hanging. So he has to save it. The only move here is bishop B5 check. Fantastic. He finds the right move. Okay. Arjun can go C6, but then there is Queen G3 attacking this bishop. So that doesn't work. He goes bishop D7. And now the simple way to continue is just take here, play Queen E2, castle it out next. Position is complex. Black definitely has compensation. But Yakuboyev jumps in with Queen B7, a blunder here. A big mistake. And his point, of course, is if you go Rook B8, he wants to take on D7 and then get his queen out from there. So Rook B8 is not a great move. But why is this a blunder? Why is taking here such a big mistake? The reason is Arjun can castle here. And then he's threatening Rook B8. And where can you take your bishop? If you take here, there are knight d3 check ideas. It's such a dangerous position here. But can Arjun firstly find short castle? That is the big question. Has he understood all the nuances of the position? While he made the last move, he had 1 hour 29 minutes. And let's have a look at Arjun's expressions. He looks calm, cool, and he just castles in 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, Arjun castles. Now, this is a big threat, massive threat. Take your bishop back to e2. I have bishop c6 and I take on f3, rook e8. The king is toasted. So, bishop going back, not an option. Northerbek takes. But if you take back, Northerbek would be jumping because he can castle. The main problem is Ajuba is going to check here. He's going to check on d3. He plays it, and look at the way in which he played knight d3 with full style there. Check to the king. And now what has happened here, guys, is for 2 pawns, Northerbek has permanently made his king into a terrible piece. You could see that last move by Yakuboev, the way he played it. Look at his expression. He's so upset. He's like, why the hell did I play this way? It's now queen d7. And look at Arjun's coordination. The rooks are connected. The bishop is shooting like a rocket. The knight is like an octopus on d3. The rooks can come here. The queen is ready to move in all directions. Oh my goodness. Knight a3 played here, defending the c1 bishop. And how is Arjun going to continue? I'm excited to see how does he attack next. Does he go rook b8, kick the queen away? No, he goes rook f e8, threatening mate in 1. Now, on the surface, it might seem like white can coordinate. If only white could get the move bishop e3, g3, king g2 and get the rook out. Ah, that would be epic. First he gets bishop e3. But the problem is that you can't get all of that because rook b8. Now I'm attacking here. And there's no way to even offer a queen trade somehow. There's no place. You can't. I mean, taking this pawn is just too greedy. I'll just take on b2. So coming back to f3 makes a lot more sense. Because here the queen is closer to the white king and can help in the protection of the king. Rook takes b2 seems like a good option here for Arjun. And he takes it. Rook takes b2 is on the board. And now bishop takes c3 is one move that is possible. Knight comes out to c4. Attacking the rook here on b2. You know, white is trying to get his pieces rolling. And Arjun is taking his time now. And this is sign of a good player. Once they have a good position or, you know, close to winning position, they kind of zone in. They do not rush it. They try to find the best moves. Now rook c2 attacks the pawn on c3. Rook d1 could attack here. Pinning the knight, but is that a problem? Well, that seems like a problem. You know, the knight cannot move now. What does Arjun have in mind here? Well, one idea is queen e6. So that if you take on d3, I can take on c4. Pin your rook. But he goes queen a4, which is also a beautiful move. Attacking the knight. The knight hardly has any squares that it can go to. Look at this. It's all controlled. Goes back to d2. Oh, look at this. White pieces. Just so discoordinated. So unharmonious. And Arjun takes another pawn. Rook takes a2. So now the pawns have been equalized. In fact, you're going to lose another pawn here. Meanwhile, you haven't really solved the problem. Maybe g3 could be one way to try and solve to get king g2. But Northerbek goes for... Well, he's so confused there. He goes h3. I'm not really sure what is on his mind. Maybe he wants to do king g1 h2 and then connect the rooks. The problem with g3, I believe, was knight e5. Getting the queen out and then moving the queen in here. So anyway, h3, he goes rook a1. Arjun is like, I'm ready to trade now. And if you take here, queen takes, it's already game over. The rook on h1 is hanging. So taking the rook doesn't make sense. King e2. Right into the heart of the position. But here already there's a huge move that Arjun has. Knight f4 check. A very, very strong move. King e1, I have bishop c3 pinning everything. He takes with the queen, but isn't the bishop pinned here? Can I simply not win the queen here? He takes on f4. And now Arjun takes it back. Queen takes f4. He takes on a1. So Nordirbek actually managed to get a rook and a knight for a queen. And now bishop takes c3 has been played. And now this bishop c3, he takes on a7. Rook takes a7 taken here. The rook attacks the pawn here on c7. Oh, okay, he's got back the pawn, but now there are many ways to put pressure. A beautiful move here is queen g5. He finds it. And the threat is rook takes bishop. Notice it carefully. You can't take with the king. Pawn takes. Queen takes g2 check. And you lose the knight here because it's attacked. So a big, massive threat here. Knight c4 played by Nordirbek. You know, the queen generally is quite equal to a rook and a minor piece. But when the opponent's king is weak, the queen is an absolute monster. You can see here now pinning this knight. And perhaps the only way to save it is king d3. But then I have a check here. The bishop is hanging. If king d3, I guess I'll go queen b3 perhaps. Rook c7 is possible, but then I don't know. Maybe he wants to go bishop a5 attacking the rook. Oh my god, king d3 played by Nordirbek. And Arjun now, his bishop is hanging, so he needs to do something about it. He plays queen b3. And now this threat. Just simple bishop g7 and pick up the knight. And yeah, it's all over. If you take rook c7, I have bishop a5 check, picking up the rook. Don't really have too many moves. Arjun gets up from his chair. He's currently rated 2782. He will be looking to reach 2800. Nordirbek signs the score sheet. He writes the score there 0-1. He resigns. He stops the clock, puts back the pieces. Arjun comes back, shakes hands. Arjun scores his first win at the US Chess Cup 2025. He was winning right out of the opening. In fact, Nordirbek's 11th move itself was a blunder, and Arjun then did not put one foot wrong. Like, you make one mistake with Arjun, that too such a huge one, and it's not going to be going down well for you after all. He's world number 4, and a great start for Arjun. The other winners were Abdusattorov, Nordirbek, and Javokhir Sindaro. So 2 Uzbeks starting with 1 point each, while Arjun, one of the 3 Indians in the fray, Pragnananda and Arvind being the other 2, they drew, but Arjun has started off with a win and a big start for him. We'll be following Arjun in this tournament, but kudos to him